Approximately 11 kilometers from the Nile River, near the modern Egyptian city of El Araba El Madfuna, lie the ruins of the ancient and mysterious city of Abydos, one of the most sacred and revered sites in ancient Egypt. The Greeks called it Abydos, and this name has endured in Western languages. Abydos is not just an ancient city. It is an archaeological treasure that holds within its boundaries some of the deepest secrets of Egyptian civilization, offering clues about the origins of the first pharaohs and the oldest religious practices of humanity. This location was one of the largest religious and spiritual centers in Egypt. For millennia, Abydos attracted devotees from all parts of the empire who came to pay homage to the gods and participate in rituals celebrating life and death. One of the city's most famous temples is that of SetiI, a pharaoh of the 19th dynasty, whose reign is often remembered for the grandeur of his architectural works and the strong promotion of the cult of Osiris, the god of the dead and the underworld. This temple is particularly notable for housing the famous king list, a hieroglyphic inscription that documents the names of pharaohs who ruled Egypt, dating back to ancient times. However, this list is just the tip of the iceberg of a much deeper and more complex story. In Abydos, a royal necropolis was discovered where the first pharaohs were buried. This royal cemetery indicates that since the dawn of Egyptian civilization, the region already held significant religious and political importance. The presence of these tombs suggests that Abydos was a central location in the process of forming the Egyptian state, a place where the temporal power of kings was legitimized by proximity to the gods. The spiritual importance of Abydos is deeply connected to the cult of Osiris. According to mythology, Osiris was a god-king who ruled Egypt in primordial times and was murdered by his brother Seth. His body was dismembered and scattered across Egypt, but his wife, Isis, managed to gather the pieces and, with the help of Anubis, the god of the dead, brought Osiris back to life. This myth of death and resurrection made Osiris a symbol of eternal life and the natural cycle of death and rebirth. Therefore, Abydos became one of the main centers of the Osiris cult, and it was believed that those buried there would be guaranteed life after death. The significance of Abydos in ancient Egypt is further emphasized by recent archaeological discoveries. In November 2016, the Egyptian Ministry of Antiquities announced the discovery of the remains of a lost city near the mortuary temple of SetiI. A team of archaeologists found remnants of ancient dwellings and graves dating back about 7,000 years, long before the recorded history of Egypt began. This discovery suggests that Abydos may have been inhabited by pre-dynastic civilizations whose cultures and traditions contributed to the later development of pharaonic civilization. The find is particularly intriguing because it suggests that there is much more to be discovered about the ancient history of Egypt. The newly discovered city may shed light on the origins of the first pharaohs and the religious practices that preceded the official cult of Osiris. Some archaeologists believe that this discovery could change our understanding of ancient Egypt's chronology, indicating that highly developed civilizations existed in the region long before previously thought. In addition to the temples and necropolises, Abydos is home to one of Egypt's most enigmatic monuments, the Osireion. Located south of SetiI's temple, the Osireion is a subterranean structure that has puzzled archaeologists and historians for centuries. The structure is made up of gigantic granite blocks, some weighing several tons, which were transported from the quarries of Aswan, hundreds of kilometers away. The precision with which these blocks were cut and fitted suggests a level of technical skill that is difficult to explain given conventional knowledge about the technologies available at the time. The Osireion is often compared to the Giza Plateau, both in terms of its monumentality and its supposed connection to lost knowledge or advanced technologies. Some theorists suggest that the Osireion may be linked to the legendary civilization of Atlantis, a highly advanced society that is said to have existed thousands of years before Egypt's first dynasties. This theory is fueled by the fact that the Osireion appears to have been deliberately designed to fill with water at certain times of the year, a feature that some believe is related to religious practices or rituals connected to the worship of water and fertility. Matthias de Stefano, a modern scholar dedicated to exploring the spiritual and historical connections between ancient cultures, proposes that the Osireion was built as a point of convergence between heaven and earth. He suggests that the water filling the temple may have been used as a medium to store and transmit information, connecting the visible world with the invisible. According to De Stefano, the temple was a place of great spiritual power, where the ancient Egyptians could access deep knowledge and universal truths. De Stefano is not alone in his conjectures. Anton Parks, a scholar of ancient mythologies and civilizations, also believes that the Osireion may have connections to Atlantis and that the god Osiris may, in fact, be an Egyptian version of the Sumerian god Enki, known as the Lord of Wisdom and Waters. In Sumerian iconography, Enki is often depicted as a bearded man with long robes and horns, from whose shoulders rivers flow, symbolizing fertility and life. Parks points to the existence of Akkadian seals that depict Enki in a water temple, surrounded by water, as possible evidence that the Osireion could have been a similar site where ancient rituals were performed to invoke the protection and wisdom of the god. These seals, used in ancient Mesopotamia to authenticate documents and goods, were also objects of great spiritual significance, and their representations of Enki suggest a deep connection between the deity and the aquatic world. Abydos, known as the Hill of the Relic, may have been more than just a religious center. It may have been a point of convergence for various spiritual and cultural traditions, connecting Egypt with other ancient civilizations such as Mesopotamia and perhaps Atlantis. The trees that grew atop the Osireion temple, on a hill that dominated the landscape, may have symbolized the connection between heaven and earth, a place where the living and the dead, gods and men, could meet. The vast and complex Egyptian mythology, with its pantheon of gods, demons, and spirits, continues to fascinate scholars and enthusiasts to this day. The figure of Osiris, in particular, remains one of the most intriguing and studied. According to Egyptian funerary texts, Osiris was not only a god of the dead, but also a just and benevolent ruler who taught men agriculture, law, and religion. His death and resurrection served as a model for the pharaohs, who sought to emulate his example and secure eternal life. The mystery of Abydos, with its underground temples, ancient necropolises, and unresolved enigmas, continues to challenge our understanding of history. Each new discovery, such as the 7,000-year-old city found in 2016, further expands our perception of what ancient Egypt was and the civilizations that preceded it. If you enjoyed this exploration of Abydos and its mysteries, leave a comment and get ready for more discoveries about the lost civilizations of antiquity. Until next time.